Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very, very well indeed. Guys, as we said a few days ago, Cole Palmer, we suspected he was going to be leaving City the way things were transpiring with the transfer dealings we had done on the players coming in. And it looks like today is the day Cole Palmer will finally leave Manchester City. Now, there's going to be a lot to unpick. We'll talk in this video about the deal and how that happened and kind of how you knew he was leaving. We'll talk about the money aspects. We'll talk a little bit towards the end, I think, about the academy, just to see, the good and bad of the academy. I'll tell you a little bit about Cole Palmer and a fun fact that I suspect 99.99% of you don't even know. Right. Start off. Cole Palmer, surplus to requirements at City. The way Pep talked about him earlier in the season, felt like he was off. Pep said he's not going out to loan. We're either going to sell him or keep him. I think the keep him aspect would have happened if we hadn't got other players in. Losing KDB obviously had a big impact on us. And if you looked at the bench against Sheffield United, Phil Foden was our senior player. Phil Foden was the only senior midfielder we had on the bench from an attacking point of view. Obviously, KDB was out injured. Really light on the ground. We lost Gundogan and Mahrez. So our bench was very, very weak. And another injury would have been tremendously tough for City because KDB's out for the best part of 3-4 months. So we knew we needed bodies, but as you get bodies in, as you get new bodies in, the old bodies, people like Cole Palmer, you say what's going to happen to them. And I thought we might keep him if we didn't get anybody else in, if we were struggling to get other people to sign on the dotted line. Cole Palmer might have stayed, but I think Cole Palmer wanted to leave as well, which is remarkable because I've just seen a picture taken from a game last February, 2022. Cole Palmer in the way end of a game, cheering after we scored. Boyhood City fan from Wythenshawe, and he's going. And it's got to that stage with the academy that the kid wants to leave. He wants to play football. He wants to progress. He wants to develop. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Cole. So yeah, last season I think he only played something in the region of 14 league games for City. Or that's the appearances he had. Previous season was 4. This season he's had 1 league appearance. Only 19 games in total. He played a reasonable amount in the FA Cup last season. Played 4 games in the FA Cup, 3 games in the EFL Cup last season. Last season was his most number of games for City. He played 25 games across the season. Previous season was 11. This season he's had 2 goals. Been Community Shield against Arsenal, cracking goal. And in the Super Cup against Sevilla, another cracking goal. And you thought maybe with the quality he's shown in the few minutes he's had on the pitch, that might be enough for Pep to keep him. But it's just the way I think Pep was talking about it. He felt it wasn't going to happen. Cole Palmer was going to go. And that's what's transpired. He hasn't played enough. He's not going to get enough game time. As soon as Doku came in, okay, you might say, I'm thinking Doku's going to play on the left and Cole Palmer plays on the right. We've already got Bernardo on the right. We've got Foden. If we get another attacking midfielder, where does that leave Cole Palmer? Because Foden at the moment might be playing in as an attacking midfielder behind Haaland because of KDB's injury. But as soon as we get somebody else, maybe that person plays there and Foden switches to the right or the left. But we've also got Bernardo. Too many good players. And as I said, Cole Palmer needed to develop, so he needed to move on. The numbers apparently are very close to what I suggested a few weeks ago. I said it'd been rumoured that Brighton had a bid of £30 million turned down. West Ham were looking at £35 to £40 million as a bid. And I suggested that Cole Palmer was worth between 40 and 50. I think I did a video saying if Brighton want him, they can pay 50 million quid. I jokingly said he's worth 60 million quid. But the way this transfer window is, the way valuations have gone, basically being pushed by Chelsea, That wasn't such a laughable claim. He's going for £40 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Let's round up to 45 million, which is between the 40 and 50 million that I suggested. It's a lot of money for a kid like this, but it appears that Cole Palmer's been on Chelsea's radar for a little while. They've been looking at him. They've got that fellow Shields, I think, who's was one of City scouts on their transfer team, and they've kept a close eye on him. They value him. Cole Palmer done it the hard way. Apparently City were ready to release him at 16. And Jason Wilcox, I think, was fought for him. Pep saw him, fell in love with him, and the rest is history. But he seems to have fallen out of love with him. Palmer hasn't developed the way he should have. I've said it for the last season. I just think he's too eager. Well, it's great to be eager and excited and wanting to succeed, but I just think he's been too eager to show what he can do, and that has resulted in, I think, too many errors, too many lost balls for Pep's liking. Pep doesn't want to lose the ball. You see the way Grealish and Mahrez have played. They don't want to lose that ball. They don't want to take people on because they don't want to lose that ball. You lose that ball, you might be incurring the wrath of Pep Guardiola. So Cole Palmer doesn't easily fall into the, into a Pep play because he's too eager to try stuff, to take people on, and as I said, he loses the ball. But on the other hand, he has some good moments, like against Sevilla, like against Arsenal in the Community Shield. So it's going to be 40 million quid, potentially going up to 45 million quid with the add-ons. I'm a bit puzzled. They've got a load of young players, and they've got a load of older players as well who they paid big money for. And Cole Palmer, even though he's a big money signing, he's going to a club that has got a lot of big money signings, and he's going to be fighting with them to get game time. And that, I think, I'm not sure he's going to get a lot more game time at Chelsea than he would have at City. I spoke to Bernard about this. I thought a move to someone like Brighton would have been better because he would have been a big money signing for Brighton amongst players who weren't, a lot of players who aren't big money signings. So I thought he would have had a better chance of making it at Brighton and getting game time. At Chelsea, just one of a load. I mean, they paid 40 million for him. They've got midfield. We've got Lavia, they paid 58 million. They've got Enzo, who they paid 105 or 100 million. They got Caicedo, they paid 115 million for. So that's their midfield. Then all these attackers as well that they've got. And I'm just thinking, where does he fit in? So, hey, it's a choice he's made. If they can offer him a 5 or a 6 year contract, he knows he's going to be minted. At City, I surmised he might be on 30 grand a week. Chelsea might be on 80 grand, 100 grand. I mean, if Chelsea giving him a 5 or 6 year contract on 100 grand a week, he knows he's making 5 million quid a year. Okay, after paying your agent and tax and everything, you might be left with 2 million. It's still not shabby. And if you've got a 5 or 6 year contract, that's 10 to 12 million quid. He's set for life. He really is. Even if he doesn't make it as a footballer, he's set for life because there'll be some other money coming in, endorsements and stuff like that. But he's set for life with 2 million quid a year for over the next 5 or 6 years. At City, I'd still argue he's set for life, unless you go around splashing cash like Micah Richards. If he lives like the rest of us normally, if you're on 30 grand a week, you're still taking home 600 grand a year after tax. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, maybe he's gone for the money. Maybe he's gone for the playing time. Maybe they've promised him a more prominent role. But I've said it before. You go somewhere, he's going to have a few games. If it doesn't happen for him, he could be put to grass because Chelsea have got so many other good players. So, it's a risk for the kid to do that. But, hey, it's a risk for him. I hope for the best for him. Because as I said, he's been a City lad for so long. Briefly about the academy, good and bad. It's good that we're producing such quality players that can go elsewhere. We can make big money. It's bad, obviously, that these players can't make it at City because it's very, very difficult to get game time at City. But the academy, what's it there for? I mean, that's probably another video. But what's the academy there for? Is it to make money, which I think mostly is, and occasionally it'll produce a diamond. And you can't have rough diamonds. You're going to be polished like Phil Foden, or be able to be polished quick enough to make it. So the academy this year will bring us in excess of £100 million. I mean, I'll rattle some names off, and I won't go through all, and I won't go through the ones where we made money on add-on clauses or sell-on clauses. Shea Charles, probably never heard of him. I think it was £10.5 million to Southampton. Fair bit of money. Was that last season? No, it was this. I think this season. We had James Trafford. He's gone off to Burnley, 17 million quid. Shea Charles, I think, 10.5 million quid. Carlos Borges, he's gone off to Ajax. He was about 17 million euros. Call it 14 million quid, 50 million quid. There's 25. That's 42 million. Palmer, even if he goes at 40, that's 82 million quid there already. Then there's other players. There's the goalie. I forgot his name now. He's gone off to where's he gone? He's gone off to Ajax. I think the goalie. Forgot his name. But I don't know what the price is there. I'll say I don't know all the players, especially some of the younger ones that have gone. I just don't know them, to be honest. I've got no idea about them all. But there's been a lot of kids going out, and I think a few more will go out before the end of the window. You can go and check on something like Transfer Market or Wikipedia if you want to go and see some more of the players going. Tommy Doyle, even though he's going out on loan initially, with a potential of a cheap £5 million transfer at the end of the day. So this it's going to make, as I said, I think it's going to make in excess of £100 million from the academy. And if you think that will pay for Guardiola and Kovacic, what business is that? Yeah, you're selling your kids, a lot of them who haven't played, and getting enough money to get Guardiola and Kovacic. And if you add in the money we got for Laporte and for Mahrez, who we've sold, that buys you Nunes or Doku. So, I mean, our business has been fantastic, and I think we could end up this transfer window, even though it's not a metric I shout about or approve of net spend, we could end up with a pretty flat line, near zero net spend. It's incredible. If you think, we're getting Nunes, we're getting Doku, we've got Guardiola, and we've got Kovacic. It's fantastic. But Cole Palmer, it's sad, as I said, it's sad to see him go because he's a City fan. There's a nice article in the Tribune, which is where the Players Tribune, I think, where I've got this fun fact from, that Cole Palmer's dad was from St. Kitts and Nevis. So his dad is West Indian. Bet you didn't know that. Another little fun fact. I mean, I did know this other one. He played 2 games in one day. He came on a sub against Burnley in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago, where we won 2-0. And then he went across to the Academy Stadium, and he played for I think it was the EDS. Played for them, and he scored a hat-trick against Leicester. It was. He scored a hat-trick. I mean, wow. It's a good article if you want to find read up a bit more about him. But I guess that's for Chelsea fans now. City fans, if you hadn't read up about Cole Palmer already, well, then why are you going up reading about him, about his background? But it's just interesting. But at the end of the day, kid's made his choice. He's at City. We're going to pick up a nice bit of money on Cole Palmer. We'll go out and spend. We've already spent it. I think Nunes is in the house. And as I said, yeah, I'm really sad to see Cole Palmer go. I want to see more local lads make it. Some of the newer fans, some of fans from away from Manchester, don't care about local lads. And I guess that's something for local fans. I'm not having to go overseas fans or anything like that, but it's something that makes us different, sets us apart. We're local. We want to see local people succeed. If you're not local, maybe you don't care. And I think that's one of the difference between us, let's say, legacy fans and new fans. As I said, I'm not having to go to new fans, but I think that's seems to be a major difference between some legacy fans and some of the newer fans. But anyway, wish the best to Cole Palmer. It'll be interesting to see how he does at Chelsea, whether he plays much at Chelsea, and if he does play, whether he can develop in the way some of us thought he might. I thought he had the potential to do very, very well. 40 million quid kind of indicates that others believe that he has that potential too. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.